Hello everyone, welcome again to Sharebility Uganda e-learning platform. In this lesson you're going to look at friction and machines. Thank you for loving us, thank you for supporting our channel, thank you for staying in touch with us on our WhatsApp group, and we are so proud to have you. Besides, we don't take you for granted, dear community, and thank you for tuning your students to watch these self-study lessons. At times teachers can't be available 24 hours, so we labor to do for you digital content now and then to keep your students busy in the holidays. So as children are coming back for holidays, always encourage them to tune in and to keep on studying, because studying doesn't end, it keeps on progressing from age to age, and from time to time all digital contents are on the channel. Feel free to share and like. In case you are new, you could help us and subscribe so that you don't miss up any lesson that comes your way out. Straight away, let's begin on our subtopic, friction and machines. Well, you're seeing that gentleman there struggling to push up a door by where that red arrow is pointing, opposing him. So in other words, the red arrow opposing this gentleman's movement is called friction. So friction is a force that opposes relative motion between objects. So yeah, straight away it's still there. You tend to find that it's pushing the door, then motion. I'm saying this arrow up here, motion, showing where the door is going. But where the door is being pushed, the contact between the surface, the blue is the surface, so there's a friction force, the force that opposes relative motion between two surfaces in contact. So it's trying to push a lot of energy, but because there's a lot of friction, it tends to be putting a lot. Straight away, let's go on. So what's friction? Friction is a force that tends to oppose motion between objects. So naming types of friction, we have got the static friction, is the friction between two surfaces which are trying to move but they have not started moving. We have got the dynamic friction. This is the type of friction between two surfaces when one is moving over the other. So viscosity friction, this is a friction in liquids and gases. So what are the advantages of friction as a useful force? Well, friction helps us to write. Whenever you're writing on paper and you use friction, so walking without sliding, because our legs are held firm on the ground. Movement of vehicles have gotten there, I've got the spikes in the tires, so those spikes enable firm attachment of the vehicle on the ground. So there's friction which enables vehicles to move. Lighting a matchsticks, always you need friction to, like when you're rubbing on the rough surface, friction is generated which enables a spark to light on a matchstick. We have braking of moving vehicles, climbing of trees, writing using a pen, we have grinding corn, and so let's move on to the next slide. So we are going to look at name the demerits. Demerits are the same as the disadvantages of friction as a nuisance force. Nuisance force is a force which, nuisance is something that is unnecessary. So friction reduce the speed of movement. Demerits are disadvantages. So whenever there is friction, I've seen the other gentleman previously, he was trying to push the door, but due to friction has reduced the speed of movement of the door. So the man tends to put a lot of force. So friction reduces the efficiency of machines. It causes unnecessary heat in machines, because whenever you're rubbing something, there's heat generated. Causes wear and tear of things, delays work, and makes one use a lot of effort. You saw the gentleman previously trying to push the door. It seems to be, let me show you a bit. The way that gentleman really looked, just seeing him here, he was really struggling with a lot of effort pushing the door because of friction. So friction tends to slow down work. Which was grinding. These are advantages. Now let me go back one. Yeah, Amazon, the demerits, causes unnecessary heat in machines, causes wear and tear, of things, delays work, makes one use a lot of effort. So ways of increasing friction. How can we increase friction? By putting threads on tires or shoes. You know, if your shoes have gotten the rough surfaces and you walk on a slippery road, you'll fall down because there's less friction. So by reducing, how to reduce the friction? How do you increase friction? By putting threads or marking the shoes, putting grips on handles of objects, putting spikes or studs on playing or sport shoes. We have seen the making surfaces rough. We have seen even putting tarmac on road surfaces. Tarmac contains those granite stones which can easily be act as a rough surface. We are going to look at now ways of reducing friction. And just tell me one. We have got making rough surfaces smooth, oiling or greasing, lubricating of moving parts, using ball bearings. I have got using rollers, streamlining the bodies of moving vessels. Under that we can reduce friction. We shall look at now ways of reducing friction. We have making rough surfaces smooth. We have gotten the oiling or greasing, lubricating of moving parts. That's why I tend to find that some vehicles and machines, sometimes whenever a machine is moving and starts making some weird noise, implying there's a lot of friction. It's experiencing, mainly this is experienced in people who do slash. They tend to use oil, and in some motorcycles they pour there some oil to reduce the friction, to endeavor that the machine moves smoothly and softly. So there's what you call oiling and greasing. Some people oil their bicycles not for fun, to reduce that weird noise. That's due to friction. Using ball bearing. Now ball bearings are those small tiny balls you tend to find in the bicycles near where the chain sits. So those ball bearings reduce friction because they are smooth and round. They tend to move over each other. So you have gotten using rollers. I think everybody has ever gone to the supermarket. You tend to find that there are some wheels, there are some chopping trolleys which have got those small tiny tires. I can call them tires, but they are called wheels. Okay, wheels. So those wheels tend to reduce the friction, which one would use when it's just pulling the roller without any roller, without those tires. So we use rollers. Rollers are like tires. Some of them are placed on skateboards. Purpose to reduce friction. You're streamlining the bodies of moving vessels. Streamlining by making them very smooth and easy to reduce air resistance. Thank you very much for watching. Love you too much.